emotions, whether it is a tear or a smile. It's good, it's good to feel things, right? It makes you feel alive. Uncle Jones! Good morning. Back. Good morning. Hi. Hello, comrade. What is the up? What is the up? What is the up? Would that be up? The up is the
Good evening or good morning.
good evening or good morning.
It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
It's been snowing.
It's been
And I haven't even been outside in it. I've been inside all day, and I don't mind that. All right, we got some little bit of art to do tonight. I keep getting tired, but we're just gonna try to do the best we can. But I'm really excited how this is looking. Really happy with it. This would be really wicked looking if I did the black background on it, which I haven't decided to do yet. Anyway, let's do some more of this. I'm going to call this stuff the grass. I want to go out a little further with it. I kind of like how I'm getting fewer tips out there than what's lower, where there's more of them. But as I transition back into the teardrops, it's actually going to make it look better. It's a little complicated, and I'm crossing over a lot of my previous drawn shapes, which is good, but also a little difficult. Yeah, we all need a good challenge, right? Hey, how's it going? Oh, sorry about that. Hey, that's how I get you guys to talk to me because make it to where you can't see what I'm doing. I want to say that's really what happened, but it's not. I appreciate it. How you doing this morning? Right now, I'm just kind of pushing out a few extra long ones all the way around, and then I'm probably going to go back into the teardrop shape, where I have a band of those in the middle. I think I'll probably finish it out with the teardrop shapes, but yeah, little different piece. The only thing I've used tool wise was making a circle. Other than that, everything else is freehand. So it's coming out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The furry edges. Yeah, to be hidden again by more teardrop shape, but yeah, for right now, I mean, if I wanted to make it more like a mandala style, I'd just stop now and leave all that white around the edges. But I don't. I like to fill the page for something that's gonna be a coloring page. Make them color the whole damn thing. Get their money's worth. Now, this was supposed to be a medium difficulty one when I started, and it got to be a a more difficult one. Very quickly, I completely failed. I think it's hilarious that I said, "Oh yeah, now this one here is going to be, you know, bigger shapes and easier to color." Not even close. Oh, still can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, I need to push the camera back further. There. I'll be less likely to do it now. God, I don't have any idea. Um, I was able to add up the hours on the last one, and I think it was like 17 hours for the last one. And this one will probably be around that, same amount of. The shapes are similar in size, so I don't know how many hours I have in it, but it'll end up being probably about 17 hours. Which is not bad for 11 by 14. I picked up a new game controller for the PC. It's actually an Xbox, USB one, but it all lights up. The handle, everything lights up on it. It's kind of cool looking. And I've been playing WRC number 9. It's a racing game. I've been playing that a little bit. Like, I don't drive enough for my job, I get on the computer and drive a few miles here and there. It's kind of funny, really. And I haven't used the controller. Yeah, driving addict. I haven't used the controller for a while. And let's just say I'm struggling. I'm doing all the gameplay on the Tau 618A channel. Forza. I don't think I have. Most of my driving game experiences on a PC, and not they haven't really put out that much for them in a lot of years. Game systems really took over that whole thing. And I have a PlayStation 2. I think a 2. I still have games for it. It still plays. But I haven't plugged it in for a couple of years. It's kind of funny. They have a 4-wheeler, the quad racing game on there, and you can just go wherever you want. You can go, the map's totally open, and that thing does wheelies. You could pull a wheelie on that thing and just drive for miles in a wheelie. And I just find that to be, I'm not very good at wheelies in real life. So it's kind of fun that you can go on the game and do wheelies all the time. And then I've found a few places on the game where you can go as fast as you can go, and then you hit a hill and it will launch you off that thing, and you just fly in the air forever. I mean, it's just, maybe sometimes 5 or 6 seconds in the air, which is a long time. And yeah, a lot of fun. And I have that saved, so I can just go in there and I already have good machines, and there isn't a lot of you don't really fix up the machines in it like you do on some games, but it's a lot of fun. But I have a TV that will run it. I just don't usually watch it. Yeah, old system. I'm old. If you can believe it, when the original Atari came out, which actually would be worth some money if we had it, but we used to play Pong on it, and they had a little bowling game, and I think their Asteroid one came out later that next year, and that's what we played on a TV, a CRT, cathode ray tube, the big thick ones. I don't know if you ever saw one. I always forget the age of everybody that maybe is in here, but I'm usually older than everybody. So, I mean, I remember, when we changed from the dial-up, where you use the round thing and you had to do the numbers on the phone, and then went fancy and we got the push button phones, and it was like, oh my god. You used to have a CRT. Bought a GameCube last year. Got nostalgic for one I had as a kid. Yeah, it's I have a ton of software for a PC. I have games that go. I have the original Doom. I actually have copies of Doom, the original version. I think I might even have Wolfenstein 3D. I've been a software hound for years, always looking for good used software to just. I just wanted to know how it worked. I have a copy of Microsoft Bob, which I doubt you know what it is. Dreamcast, yeah. Famicom, no. The first computer I got onto, I was 32 years old, and it was a 286. Had like 4 meg of RAM, and it used floppy 5.5-inch floppies and the 3.5-inch floppies, and it didn't have a hard drive in it. And there was a game on it called Gorillas, and you put in the speed and the angle that you wanted to throw. It was 2 gorillas fighting each other with nuclear bananas, and you put in the distance and the angle that you wanted to throw it at, and you would try to hit the other gorilla with a nuclear banana. Boy, that'll take you back. I haven't seen that game for many, many years. So basic. 8-bit. Probably 4-bit. It probably wasn't an 8-bit. It was probably 4-bit. And then the boss of the store I was helping manage bought a 486 I think DX2, had 8 megs of RAM, and a 320 meg hard drive. Not gig, 320 meg hard drive. Both of us messing around on it, doing things. It took 9 months to fill up that hard drive. Anyway, he closed the store sometime later, and then he pawned the computer. It's still worth a lot of money. And he couldn't afford to go back to the pawn shop and get it out. So I gave him a linear amplifier for a CB radio, and he gave me the pawn ticket, and I had to go get it out of the pawn shop for like $120 or something. And I took it to a computer shop and spent $400 and quadrupled the RAM from 8 to 32 meg. 32 megs of RAM. My machine, you can't see it. It's not in the picture. It has 64 gig of RAM. 64 gig. The computer on my laptop has 16 gig. And that thing had 32 meg of RAM after I got it fixed up. That thing ran till after the year 2000, and it hadn't. My brother had borrowed it. He didn't know anything about computers. I just gave him one to just play around with, so maybe you could learn them a little bit. And then he moved the computer, and it was right around the new year, and we thought, and then when he turned it on, the screen was just all messed up, and we thought it suffered from Y2K, that the clock program was messed up because computers weren't made to read the year 2000. So I got the computer back from him, and I just kept it for parts. And a few years later, yeah, Y2K, and a couple years later, I pulled some parts out of it, and I needed the monitor off of it just to set up another machine, and I plugged it in, and it had all the screen was messed up, and I realized that I went and looked at it, and when he had plugged the monitor in, he bent over one of the little pins on the inside of it, and it grounded out to the ground. It grounded it out, and it messed up the screen on it, and that the computer was actually still good. It was just the monitor had a bent pin. Y2K didn't affect it. It didn't to almost anything, really. It was just a big scare. They didn't know what was going to happen. The things I've lived through. Isn't that crazy? I went to college for computer networking. My next door neighbor had been teaching me all kinds of stuff about computers, the ins and outs on the inside of them, what things were called, and what worked on what, and why it worked, and how it worked, and then I started going to college for computer networking, and they had us go through and really learn computers in a classroom setting. And I had been learning so much from my neighbor. And I also started working for the college as work study program. And so I was working for the IT department. And they eventually had me setting up computers, finding problems with them, making them run, and making good working machines so that you could make definite things wrong with it, so that the students had to find what was wrong with it. And I didn't have to take any of those tests because I set all the machines up. Kind of fun. So I just went around and helped people, work on their machines. Oldest computer had Windows 95, yeah. And I had ones with Windows 3.11, and then I ran DOS programs, DOS 5.0 on that one 286 with floppy drives. Yeah, it just had DOS on it. It just barely enough to make it read the disks, and all the programs were on the disk, and you even saved data to that disk, and it played. It was very simple machines, a little bit above paper and pen, just a little bit. But it could make math calculations, and it had a few functions in it. Most of the time it had to be on the software that you put in it. But you could do stuff, real basic stuff. And that machine was old. We got it really cheap. It's basically like a throwaway. It was like maybe 6 years old. It was a 286. It was just really bare bones. The monitor was actually built into the whole box, but it was down in the little corner, had a 5-inch screen. It was ridiculously worthless. So when we got that 486, boy, we thought we were living big. We actually had, Windows 95 on it, and yeah, it was. You could actually do stuff. I had the art, paint program, and I was doing all kinds of stuff with that, and doing it all with a mouse, just a crazy thing. That's a hell of a way to put input in when you're drawing a picture. It's possible, but it takes a lot of work. All right, look at that. It got a little heavy over here, but it's fine. A little heavy down here. A little long over here. So overall, I would say that's pretty good for where I'm heading to with this thing. Just about everything I do requires a lot of patience, and in most things I succeed. But when I'm driving, I try to be patient, but if I'm by myself in the car, I'm not very patient. But when I have customers in the car, I'm very patient, and I'm very calming, and yeah, you gotta be. Otherwise, you don't make very good tips, and then they don't want to ride with you anymore. And that doesn't help your paycheck anyway. But when it comes to art, I usually try to make it as the most difficult as I can make it for myself. That way it's challenging. These shapes, what I call the grass, these pointy ones, it's really hard to keep the right size and length. It's not that hard with the teardrop shapes. They stay the same shape and size pretty easy, but these other ones can get a little fat, a little thin, a little long, you know. But it's also good because it's very random and very organic. That'd be a good screenshot right there. Or it just kind of fills the whole thing. If I wasn't in the picture, you know. That's kind of cool looking. Yeah. All right. Now, if I had a compass around still, I could draw a big circle and I could put these shapes back in, you know, out to the circle to get it all round again. But since I don't have a compass, I'm just going to go with the teardrop shapes. But I'm going to have to draw them quite a ways back into those shapes because I made them so loose out here. It's so much fun drawing behind another shape. I'll have to admit this is not that easy. I might have made it a little challenging for myself. I have been starting to. Um, what I need to do is need to make a schedule to post stuff so that I collect all the pictures and stuff, make stills out of the videos, or make little videos that I can post, and then put those out like 1 or 2 days a week. I have to admit that I'm not very good at that. I just draw whenever I feel like drawing, and I have time to, because the job does take a certain amount of time in my life, and this month is really busy. Wow, I'm getting a lot of these little shapes put in. I went extra small. This is not going to be good. Oh boy. They may have to get bigger as they come out further. I might have gone a little small there. Yeah, it is that. Plenty of contrast, yeah. You don't want to shortchange it, that's for certain. The more detail you can put in, the more theoretically, the better it is. I mean, you're giving somebody everything you have to give. And they can buy you for just a few dollars. And then they can sit there and torture themselves trying to color it just like I color it. They're not easy to color, and yet for me they're not hard either, but I know because I color so much that it's easy for me, but I see other people struggling with them. The people that own the coffee shop, both the husband and wife, each got one of my pictures, and they were trying to color them, and they both have said, like, wow, that's a lot harder than it looks. And they're a lot simpler than these are. A lot simpler. So I'm gonna try to catch them this weekend if I can, show them what I've been working on. They're not too happy about me not coming into the coffee shop as much as I was. I may have to change the title on the coloring pages that I do and say challenging coloring pages, or challenging adult level coloring pages, because I do like to put adult level on there. Yeah. Well, that looks pretty nice, though. They do look better smaller. I can make them go larger as they come out, but I'll just do a ring with them at this size. I think that would be nice, and then just, try to make them a little bigger as they keep coming out towards the corners. I think that'll be nice, but that is challenging. I mean, the amount of, with a colored pencil, you'd just be barely able to get inside these little shapes and color them. I mean, there just isn't a lot of room there to place any color. Gel pens may actually work better on this one. A couple days ago, I got to see the season premiere of Yellowstone, and it was pretty good. It's a good show. I like it. My sister was a little concerned for me because one of the main characters loses a child after having an automotive accident and that she was carrying, and I didn't lose a child that was in the womb, but I did lose one who was 13, so she thought it might make me upset, and I said, trust me, I know, I thank you for caring, but trying to guess what's going to upset me would be almost impossible. I said, I'm sure I'll be just fine. But I appreciated her concern. I've always wanted to try to teach somebody how I do these pictures to see what they would come up with, because they could modify the shapes. But I've never had anybody go, man, I want to learn to draw like that. It's pretty funny. I guess nobody else is crazy enough. Could be. May take a little insanity to. I mean, I know people who do stippling, and they stipple everything, just making little dots. And that looks very tedious to me. But they seem to like it. Mm. Hmm. Oh. Oh, crap. Almost 4 o'clock, huh? Hello, how's it going? Apos Ghost, thank you very much. Yeah, lots of detail. Crazy hand-drawn picture. Been going at it for quite a while over the last few days. It's a slow process, a lot like watching paint dry, but a lot of fun to do, and quite a challenge. A little better view of what I'm doing there. Very tiny. Yeah, I don't know. I like making it difficult on myself, so I do a lot of detail work, even though I got to look through a magnifying glass to kind of see the shapes anymore. My eyes are going bad. Part of getting old, I guess, but I definitely love the challenge. It does make it to where you don't have to start a new picture all the time because it takes so long to complete a picture. But I haven't even been keeping track on this one. I thought I turn the camera on every time I started to draw, so there's a pretty good record of this one. There's a few days there where I was too busy at work and didn't get a chance to draw, so it was kind of nice I could get back in on it today. This is the second time I've worked on it today, or this evening. What's nice is that it's all kind of the same shapes and stuff, so I can kind of start and stop as I like. I don't have to like complete something to keep the image in my head or something. I know sometimes you gotta do that, and this doesn't require that, so it's kind of, you can start and stop as you like. I'm self-taught. I had one good art class in 9th grade, I think. And learned the basics, and everything else I've learned on my own. And it's nice because I kind of made my own style. I don't think I've never seen anybody really do anything like this. Do you do any type of artwork or musician or anything? To me, it's the whole thing about being creative. You don't always. It could be cooking. I suppose it could be making babies. Some people just get at that. But making something out of nothing. But I love the creative process. That's cool. Yeah, I don't really know the styles all that much either myself, but yeah, we all have our own thing that we like, and if it makes you happy when you get a chance to sit down and do whatever you like to do, that's cool. I've always drawn in coffee shops and restaurants, and I'm used to drawing in public. Plus, as a tattoo artist for on and off for 25 years, so I'm kind of used to drawing in public. So being on camera is no big deal. And you have to get used to look people watching you draw when you're tattooing. No, I'm retired. When I had to start wearing reading glasses, you have to take the glasses on and off all the time while you're working. And I didn't like the idea of having bloody gloves right next to my eyes. You know, there's always a chance of catching something, hepatitis or AIDS or something, but it just wasn't. I was kind of getting bored of it anyway. I never really was that great of a tattoo artist, but I did quite a few of them. I think 5 to 7,000 tattoos. A lot. A lot of years. I did some cool stuff. But it's hard work. People move too much. I got about 15 more minutes, I think. And then probably about time to head to bed, I guess. If I don't get too tired tonight, I can get up and do a little bit tomorrow. You gotta work that time, you know. I'm hoping this thing takes off. And hey, thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah, you need super steady hands, and you have to learn to draw in pen. You know, it's you're drawing in ink on skin. There's no erasing, so you have to learn all those techniques and stuff. But yeah, yeah. Look for me. I see you followed. I appreciate that, and yeah, just check back in. And oh, probably, I don't know. They want me to work tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing it. So I'll be finding out 10 o'clock in the morning, I suppose, whether I have to work or not. Anyway, thanks. Anytime you see me in here, you're welcome to stop in. I love chatting. Yeah, and I'm going to keep going for a few more minutes. I actually got 3 viewers right now. Hello. It's pretty cool. Yeah, about 15 more minutes and I'll call it quits. Try to get some more little lines put in here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it sure would be nice not to have to go out and drive people around to make a living. Be a lot more fun to sit here and make art, wouldn't it? Yeah. I suppose the more it takes off, the less amount of driving I'll have to do, and I'll be smiling a lot more. I always wanted to open a tattoo shop called Shakey's Tattoo and see if anybody actually came in. I still have pretty calm hands for my age. I know my brother's hand shakes. He's even younger than I am, but we're getting up there. Yeah, I try to look at this life thing like it's a part-time job, you know. You got to get out there and you got to try to do it good. And I know from what I've been able to see that the algorithm likes it when you put out more content. So, the more content you put out, the it starts to show people that better, and because ultimately they just want to make money, by selling ad space. So still got a little ways to. I'm just coming up on halfway on the amount of viewers I need to move up to affiliate, or followers, I should say. But I still haven't had 5 people chatting at the same time, and I need to get that as well. But it'll come along. It's a whole new thing to learn too. I haven't really learned how to make like screens and or scenes and all kinds of stuff to where I can put all that information and stuff on about me. But I'll get it figured out one of these days. They don't really help you find out how to put 2 cameras on at the same time and all that stuff. I do have another camera. I could put 3 on me. One camera from the side, one camera straight down, one at me, maybe add a 4th, and have one showing the roommate's dog or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a pet fish or something, and just have one camera on the fish. A dog? Nah, too much work. You think anybody come in and watch my fish? Yeah, fish cam. Huh? A cute little beta, or maybe a little, what's another little fish? A little sunfish, or I don't know. Maybe get a little baby shark. It's a little chilly down here in the basement, but I could, put a heater in it so it maintains the proper temperature. You don't want to. I could put a trout in it and raise a trout and then just eat it. Once a year you get a new fish. Yeah. Well, that's better than owning your own fish, right? I mean, you don't have to feed it or anything. I've been reluctant to get a pet because I'm just gone so much, and I don't think it's fair to the animal, the strange schedules that I keep, and but a fish probably wouldn't care too much as long as I feed it every 12 hours or something. And I bet they've got an automatic feeder. you know, you could get on your phone and you could feed the fish, right from your phone. Still have to change the water every now and then. I would want a halfway decent sized tank because I think it's cruel if they're in too small of a tank. I mean, they're used to swimming everywhere, and all of a sudden they get caught and put in a little teeny tank, and I don't know. Did they miss the open water? I'd probably get people saying, "Oh, you're neglecting your fish." Come on, go play with your fish. We want to see you play with them. I'm like, what? Like catch? I guess we could have a naming contest. I don't think I've ever owned a fish. I mean, I've been around people that had them, but I don't think I've ever actually owned one. A turtle would be good. They don't move around real fast. They're low maintenance. They don't actually want to be messed with. So if I don't mess with it and I just keep it fed, it would probably be just as happy. It's like, quit picking me up. I hate it when you pick me up. Just feed me. Leave me alone. Get me a girl turtle. Or a boy turtle if you have a girl turtle. Yeah, I notice what time it is. But I'm getting stuff done. And my finger only has a small dent in it right now. I've been trying to hold the pencil loosely, not too tight. I was doing wood burning on a guitar last week, and I burned my finger, and I got a big scab on the end of it, which is making me handle the pen much lighter than normal. I usually push the tips in and on these microns, and this one's lasted for quite a while. It's amazing what a sore finger will do. Yeah. Yeah, they found better food, huh? It's like, don't insult me with. You can't feed me that crap, dude. I can eat better down the street. Well, fine, go. You know you're doing good when all the cats bring the other cats down and say, "Hey, man, you need to come down here. They got better food where I'm going." You know you're doing good then by the cats when the more of them show up. Oh, not even, not even staying in the frame there. I hate when I do that. They're like, we can see you working, we just can't see what you're doing. Come on, Jay, adjust the camera or the canvas that you're working on. It's not a canvas, but the paper. It looks pretty good. It's just gonna take a really long time to finish this picture with them being that small. Oh boy. All right. I always hate to leave when there's 3 people here, but my eyes are getting tired. It's been a long day, and I gotta get back up. So, all right. I will look for you later. Thank you for following again. Like I say, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, morning, day, whatever you have, wherever you're at, and I will hopefully see you soon. Take care.